The Marvel Cinematic Universe has always felt carefully planned, but what if the biggest secret was hiding in plain sight since the very beginning? What if every alien invasion, every powerful artifact, and even Tony Stark's sacrifice were unknowingly moving pieces in a much larger strategy? A strategy designed by one mind. The mind of Doctor Doom. For years, fans believed the Infinity Saga was simply the story of the Avengers rising to stop Thanos. But recent clues, leaks, and hidden references suggest something far more unsettling. The events of Phase 1 may not have been random at all. Instead, they could represent the earliest steps of Victor Von Doom quietly preparing his domination of the multiverse. Think back to the moment Tony Stark first revealed himself as Iron Man at the end of Iron Man in 2008. That announcement changed the world forever inside the MCU. But in hindsight, it also exposed the existence of advanced armor technology to the entire planet. For a genius like Victor Von Doom, that moment may have been the first data point. When Stark Industries began producing arc reactor technology, it revolutionized energy forever. But imagine someone watching from afar, analyzing every innovation Tony Stark created. Doom has always been known in Marvel lore as a scientist equal to Stark and Reed Richards. Seeing Stark's breakthroughs might have inspired Doom's own future armor designs. Another early Phase 1 artifact suddenly looks far more suspicious when viewed through this theory. The 10 Rings. In Iron Man, the organization seemed like a simple terrorist group holding Tony Stark captive, but the rings themselves later became mysterious cosmic artifacts with unknown signals being transmitted into deep space. In Shanghai and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Wong reveals that the rings are sending a beacon across the universe. The origin of that signal has never been fully explained. But what if it wasn't calling aliens? What if it was transmitting coordinates through the multiverse? Coordinates that Doctor Doom could eventually use? Promotional leaks for Avengers Doomsday suggest Doom will fuse the 10 rings directly into his armor. If true, that changes everything. The rings may act as a multiversal navigation system, allowing Doom to move between realities. Suddenly, the artifacts first seen in Phase 1 become the foundation of his ultimate weapon. Another mysterious event that never received a clear answer happened during Spider-Man: Homecoming. Tony Stark sold Avengers Tower. The building that once represented the Avengers' power quietly passed into the hands of an unknown buyer. Fans have speculated for years about who purchased it, but Marvel never revealed the truth. Now imagine that towering skyscraper transformed into a secret Latvian intelligence hub. If Doom bought Avengers Tower, he would gain access to Stark's technology, Avengers security systems, and global satellite networks. Stark built it as a symbol of protection, but Doom may have turned it into the most powerful surveillance center on Earth. But the clues don't stop there. The Russo brothers, who directed Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, may have quietly hidden something extraordinary inside Endgame itself. Recently discovered promotional codes linked to Avengers Doomsday point toward a strange timestamp hidden deep within the film. One code references the exact moment 1 hour 24 minutes and 20 seconds in Endgame. That timestamp occurs during the scene where Bruce Banner speaks with the Ancient One in 2012 New York. She explains the dangerous consequences of removing Infinity Stones from their timelines, warning that doing so would create catastrophic branched realities. At the time, the Avengers believed they solved the problem by returning the stones. But the Ancient One's warning carried a deeper implication. Even temporary disruption of the timeline creates instability, and instability across infinite timelines could attract someone powerful enough to take advantage of the chaos. That is where the theory becomes truly fascinating. If Victor Von Doom was studying the multiverse, the Avengers time heist might have created the perfect opportunity. By fracturing reality, the Avengers may have unknowingly opened pathways between universes, pathways that Doom could track, map, and eventually control. This concept reframes Endgame in a shocking way. Instead of being the ultimate victory of the Avengers, the time heist could actually be the moment Doom's master plan began accelerating. The heroes believed they saved reality, but their actions might have made the multiverse vulnerable to a greater ruler. The idea of Doom manipulating events becomes even stronger when we examine global events throughout the MCU. One of the most devastating moments occurred in Avengers Age of Ultron when Sokovia was lifted into the sky and destroyed during the battle against Ultron. The destruction of Sokovia had enormous political consequences. Entire regions were destabilized, governments collapsed, and anti-Avengers sentiment spread across the world. But what if that chaos created the perfect conditions for a new ruler to rise from the shadows? In Marvel Comics, Doctor Doom rules the nation of Latveria, but Latveria has never officially appeared in the MCU. Some fans now believe that Sokovia's destruction allowed a mysterious leader to rebuild the region under a new identity, a nation reborn from ruins, renamed Latveria. If Victor Von Doom stepped in during the aftermath, he could position himself as a savior to a broken country. By restoring order and rebuilding technology, Doom would quickly gain loyalty from citizens desperate for stability. In just a few years, he could transform Sokovia into the powerful kingdom of Latveria. Strangely, Phase 4 projects may have already hinted at this transformation. In Moon Knight, one episode briefly shows a European village where residents speak German, and a towering castle overlooks the town. The design looks remarkably similar to classic depictions of Doom's Latverian fortress. Even more suspicious is a delivery truck that appears in the background marked with the letters Von D. It is a tiny detail most viewers missed, but for Marvel fans who know Victor Von Doom's full name, that clue feels incredibly deliberate. These small breadcrumbs suggest that Doom's influence may already exist inside the MCU world. He may not have appeared on screen yet, but his presence could be quietly growing in the background of multiple stories. Another piece of the puzzle comes from a fascinating concept known as the anchor being theory. According to multiverse lore introduced in recent Marvel projects, some individuals serve as stabilizing forces for entire realities. If they disappear, their universe begins slowly collapsing. Tony Stark may have been the anchor being for Earth 616. His intelligence, leadership, and constant inventions kept the world evolving forward. But when Stark sacrificed himself at the end of Endgame, that anchor was suddenly gone. Reality itself might require a replacement to maintain stability. In the heroic version of that role, someone sacrifices themselves for others. But Doctor Doom represents the darker alternative. Instead of sacrifice, Doom believes in domination as the solution to universal survival. If Doom recognizes that reality requires a stabilizing ruler, he may believe only he is worthy of that responsibility. From his perspective, controlling the multiverse is not evil. It is necessary. Without a supreme intellect guiding existence, everything will collapse into chaos. This twisted philosophy perfectly mirrors Tony Stark's legacy. Stark saved the universe through selflessness. Doom intends to save it through absolute control. Two armored geniuses solving the same cosmic problem in completely opposite ways. The casting of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom in upcoming rumors adds a fascinating meta layer to this theory. The man who once played the universe's greatest hero could return as its greatest tyrant, representing a dark reflection of the same genius that once protected humanity. But Doom's ultimate plan reportedly goes even further than conquering Earth. According to several leaks and comic inspirations, Doom is searching for beings known as the Children of the Multiverse. These are individuals with reality-altering power far beyond ordinary heroes. One of the most powerful examples is Franklin Richards, the son of Reed Richards and Sue Storm from the Fantastic Four. In Marvel Comics, Franklin possesses the ability to create entire universes with his mind. For someone like Doom, that level of power would be irresistible. Another potential target is Love, the cosmic child introduced at the end of Thor, Love and Thunder. Raised by Thor himself, Love possesses mysterious celestial abilities connected to eternity. Her existence alone proves that children in the MCU can hold unimaginable power. Rachel Summers, another reality-manipulating figure from the X-Men universe, could also become part of this terrifying equation. If Doom collects multiple reality-altering beings, their combined abilities could allow him to reshape existence itself. But artifacts would still be required to stabilize that new reality. Objects like the Eye of Agamotto, once used by Doctor Strange to manipulate time, could serve as the framework for controlling cosmic energy on a massive scale. By combining powerful children with ancient artifacts and multiversal technology like the Ten Rings, Doom could create something unprecedented. A single unified reality where every universe merges together under his rule. Comic readers know this world by a terrifying name: Battleworld. Battleworld is a patchwork universe created by Doctor Doom during the Secret Wars storyline. Different realities are stitched together into one massive planet ruled by Doom as God Emperor. Entire civilizations live under his control, believing him to be the creator of their existence. If the MCU adapts this storyline, it would mean Doom's plan has been unfolding for years. Every fractured timeline, every multiverse variant, and every unstable reality would eventually collapse together into one world dominated by Doom's will. Even the chaos caused by Kang the Conqueror may serve a purpose in this theory. Kang destabilizes timelines and creates endless variants across the multiverse. But that chaos could simply prepare the battlefield for someone even more powerful to take control. Marvel Studios reportedly has a long-term narrative plan stretching toward 2032. Early reports suggested Kang would be the main villain of the multiverse saga. But behind the scenes, discussions about Doctor Doom's arrival may have been happening long before audiences realized it. Kevin Feige himself hinted that major plans for future villains were mapped out years in advance. If Doom truly was intended as the final mastermind, then everything from Phase 1 onward could be reinterpreted as subtle groundwork leading toward his rise. Looking back at the MCU with this theory in mind creates an eerie pattern. Artifacts appear before their purpose is understood. Nations collapse before new rulers emerge. Timelines fracture before a single mind learns how to control them. Every step seems random until you imagine someone watching the entire process unfold, studying it, preparing for the moment when all the pieces finally align. And when that moment arrives, Doctor Doom doesn't simply attack the Avengers. He reveals the truth that changes everything. They were never stopping his plan. They were completing it. If Doom truly planned everything since Phase 1, then the MCU's biggest story twist may still be waiting in the future. The heroes may discover that every victory, every sacrifice, and every cosmic artifact was unknowingly guiding them toward the rise of the one man destined to rule it all. And if that revelation ever happens on screen, it could completely redefine how we see the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because the greatest villain in MCU history might not just be arriving, he might have been there from the very beginning. And if you want more deep Marvel theories, hidden MCU clues, and mind-blowing breakdowns just like this one, make sure you subscribe to FilmVerse Hollywood and turn on notifications so you never miss the next theory that could change how you see the Marvel Universe forever.